Hello everyone, good evening, happy weekend. Welcome back to our weekly market breakdown. I'd like to welcome every SMC member to this week's market breakdown, and we'll be looking at some intraday levels going into the week. As you can see, I have my chart marked up with certain levels. So let's start from BTC, one of the most widely traded coins. So we'll start from the weekly. This is Bitcoin, the perpetual futures chart. We're on the 1 month chart, as you can see, 1 month. So this is how I'm going to be lining up. I've already marked out the levels, so I'll just allow you to see it. So we have our lower support floor right there at around we have it there at around that 16k zone. So I'd like you to just mark up your charts and anticipate for yourself. The faster you're able to know how to trade for yourself, the better. So that 16k level will be an amazing level for you to look out for. Our current support, which is around 20k to about $19,000. So that's the current support level, and you can see that I have all that marked out. So go to your monthly chart and try to reproduce what you've seen marked out. So I'm going to try to make the video really short so that it doesn't bore you, right? So if you can get these levels ready on your chart, this zone here and this zone, just mark it out nicely. And I also want to show you, you just mark it out nicely for yourself. That would be interesting. Then we have a bigger fish up here to fry as well. Bigger fish in that zone. It's a big zone. You can extend it all the way, but just keep it there so that it doesn't get all clumsy, and you can also begin to see how price will move. All right, so let's move to the weekly time frame so that you can begin to appreciate what is coming in the week. Now, these smaller levels that you see here are for the intraday levels. That's your 15 minutes. As you can see, price is moving in that level, but let's look at how it appears on the weekly. So you can see your resistance level. We have our resistance right here at around 25k. That's our resistance zone. Our resistance zone is around that 25k level. So I'll put that out for you. That's your resistance zone there. Now we have another resistance level right here, which should be the first area that price will try to test. Right? We've had a huge move to the downside. Price swept through this level. So now that price has pushed through that level, we're likely to see a retest of that zone. Okay, so price is trying to consolidate around this area. So this would be the first area that price would try to retest. Okay, so if you have that zone, then this is where your current support is currently at. This is just basic chart markup, and it will save you a lot of confusion. If you're able to put this together, it will save you a lot of confusion going into your week. So this is the weekly chart, and this is how my chart looks like. And you'd also do yourself great favor if you can mark up your chart this way and just wait for price to come into your level for you to play accordingly, right? So that's for BTC on the weekly chart. Now if you scale to the daily, you'll begin to appreciate what we're doing here much better. So on the daily, so let me just zoom in so we can observe together. So right here inside this zone, all right, so a lot of people are already playing in that zone. You're going to appreciate these two zones on the lower time frames, on the 15 minutes and on the 30 minute and the 1 hour. You're going to see this zone better, but I'm just drawing it out there for you to see. So price has been ranging between this area here. This is where price has been ranging to this area. You can also extend it, to cover the week there. So that's where we're currently playing. That's where price is currently playing at, right? So these are lower time frame levels, 15 minutes, 5 minutes, scalping. It's a scalp levels. So you'd see that on the daily, it doesn't really show that anything is happening. But when you scale down to the 5 minutes, if we go there now, you're going to appreciate those levels better. And you can see how price is coming into that zone. But let's progress gradually, because I want you to begin to understand what we might be coming into in the coming weeks. I'll just reduce that a bit. So that's your resistance zone, and right here on the daily, we're beginning to see some bullish price action. So you can see that there's been a tussle between sellers and buyers. So yesterday we saw sellers push price. We saw the sellers push price into this area around 19.5. Then immediately buyers stepped in and the candle closed as a hammer, right? So if you study your candlestick Bible, you know what a hammer is. It shows, a hammer would show up at the end of a downtrend, showing that sellers are beginning to lose control. And that's what we can see here on the daily, a very massive hammer which pushed into 19.5 and came back to close around 20k. So you can see that yesterday's closure was around this level, and it looks like today we're going to be closing just above where price closed yesterday, and that's a good sign. That's a good sign right here, because it simply means that we will start building momentum to at least retest this level, that $21,000 level, into 22k. So momentum is beginning to build right here. So all you have to do is to observe how price begins to react around this zone. Okay, so like I said before in the previous video, that we have an amazing buy opportunity on our hands, and you should be absolutely taking advantage of all these opportunities. So price is going to begin to recover straight into this level and probably push to sweep this resistance zone in the coming weeks. So this is how I'll be looking. This is how I'll be looking at the market, right? So you want to look at your daily charts very closely at the end of each day, because each day price is going to build up momentum as to going back to recover all these lost levels. So if you scale to the 4 hour on the same chart, then you will begin to appreciate what price is doing. You can already see that there's a bullish play on hand. You see, higher high, higher low. So price would probably be sweeping this level sooner or later. So we might have a retest of $20,600 zone, which is the current resistance point at this level. So there's a huge tendency for us to come back to retest that level on this move. So you want to keep an eye on what is happening around that level. If you scale to the 1 hour, then you'll also appreciate that as well. You can also see that price is struggling right now. The 50 EMA is acting as a dynamic resistance, so price is struggling at this level. So in the coming week, this is where you want to look out for. I've already shown you the big picture. You've already seen the big picture from the higher time frames. Now this is the 1 hour, and this is where most people look at, because this is where you take your intraday trades from. So this is the level, this is the range, 26 to about $19,500. So this is your range. This is your range where you begin to anticipate your trades from. in the coming week. Of course, price will tend to be range bound until we break. So you want to look out for longs. You might want to anticipate longs inside this level. I don't know if price is going to just sweep this level all the way on this move. I'm not sure. But what I do know is we have a massive opportunity for longs on the cards. So this is your level to anticipate your longs. All these levels for longs. So your stops, your stop loss should be just below this zone here. So you might want to keep your stops at around 19k just to give the trade enough room to breathe. So you're going to see a lot of consolidation in this zone and a potential breakout to the upside. So upside targets, you have 21,500 upside targets in the coming weeks. Then you have 25k once again, and of course the bigger move which I'm anticipating into that 30k region in the coming week. Right? So play in between the lines. Allow the trade to progress. Play in between the line. A break, retest, break, retest, break, retest. That's where you want to focus on. So if you keep it on the 4 hour, I believe the 4 hour will give you the big picture. So first of all, we need to sweep 20,600. We need a clean break of $20,600. That's our first target. Then 21k and then 24k. So we're going to be playing in between the lines, right? And where price fails to break and fails to stay above, we'll also readjust and trade accordingly. But being able to mark out your levels will help you anticipate all that we're doing. On the 15 minutes, you can also clearly see what is happening. So you're free to play the range as much as you can. Price has come here and is beginning to reject, so it's possible that will come back down and then price will build up again. So play the range until there is a new thing happening. So play the range as much as you can. Okay, but don't lose sight of the fact that a clean break of 20,600 will begin to mark a surge into 25k, into 22k first, and a potential push into 25k and even 30k right above there. Alright, so keep that range and play with it as much as you can. Keep your stops tight, and it would be an easy ride for you. So let's look at Ethereum. Going into the week, Ethereum also absolutely looks just the same as BTC as usual. We'll start from the monthly time frame for Ethereum. So if you look at this, I have my levels all marked out. We have our support floor here for Ethereum on the monthly time frame. This is the monthly time frame. So that's your support floor, well marked out. And if you want to look at the area, so if I double click coordinates, you can see that our support is between 1,665 and 1,291. So that's our range for this support floor. So you might also want to mark out yours just exactly. Then this is also the resistance. This is the resistance on the monthly time frame, the resistance zone for Ethereum. As you can see, now these are intraday levels, which I'm going to show you on the 1 hour and the 15 minutes. Now we have the bigger level here, which I'd also like to see. I'd like to see Ethereum coming to probably that $2,500 level. So we have our zone here. right here. See that? So scale to the weekly. Once you scale to the weekly, you'll begin to appreciate what is happening. As you can see, the monthly and the weekly are well aligned, and price has now come into this zone, and we're beginning to see some buy activity. Now let's go to the daily time frame. This is what we call a top-down analysis. The moment you scale down, you also begin to appreciate what price is doing. Now on the daily, it's beginning to make sense. All the levels are marked out. On the daily time frame, price seems to have found a nice support there on the daily. So you can see the previous candle. Just going to highlight that zone for you. Let me make it bigger so you can see what I'm talking about right here. Look at what is happening there. Price pierced through that level, right? If you're able to catch this right at the tip here, brilliant trade into about $1,360. And immediately we saw buyers step in, and the candle closed as a hammer, which is a bullish candle, showing that the downtrend is beginning to wear out and buyers have stepped in. So as you can see, Ethereum is always, Ethereum moves faster than Bitcoin. So you can see the daily candle on Ethereum. You can already see that buyers have taken over, and this is the confirmation I told you that we needed to wait for. And now that we have a bullish daily candle, we can now begin to predict the market, because there's a tendency that we might retest this level on the daily. So what are you looking out for? We want to see a bullish momentum build for us to retest 1.5, right? A clean break of 1.5 would send us back to 1.750, and a clean break of 1.750 should easily send us into that 1.18 into $2,000 region for Ethereum. All right, so just take this off. Then we look at the 4-hour chart. If you look at the 4-hour chart, things even become very interesting. As you can see, we've had there's a massive build up coming. So I can easily predict that we're coming into this zone, especially where we have that moving average. So price should be able to come into that 1.5 level. As you can already see, price has come back and has closed above 1.4, and we're beginning to push into that zone. If you compress your chart and you even extend this, probably you'll appreciate it much better. So you can always see that price always comes back to test this zone. So you can see price is holding up quite well. Quite well there. So I just want to readjust this right here. So interesting, price action for you to anticipate in the coming week, right? If we break this zone, you can see that things can spiral down very fast. We will be going straight. If 1.4 breaks, price will be heading straight for that 1.1 support level. So that's why it's important for you to mark out everything, right? Once you're able to mark out your entire chart, then wherever price goes to, it won't be a surprise for you. So you see that? So I've broken it down for you on the daily. So you know your targets and you know what to expect in the coming week. So it's as simple as it gets. So we're seeing a massive reaction at 1.5. Sorry, at that $1,400 level. So this is what Ethereum looks like. And I really want to anticipate that 1.5 holds up and we begin to see a recovery straight into that zone. Of course, it's not going to be one straight line the way we draw it. There's going to be retracement. There are two ways the market moves when we're about to set on a bullish run. What you always see is you'll always see price do an impulsive move, something like this. So let me just demonstrate for you. You'd see an impulsive move, then a retracement move, right? An impulsive move, then a retracement move. So more or less higher highs, higher low, higher high, higher low. And that's when our fib strategy works the best. So you'll always see price move in this sort of manner, right? Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. So it's never a straight line. Price doesn't move in a linear fashion. It's never a straight line, you know. So even if it moves, even if it goes up, it always come down. So for us to even confirm that a bullish, we're about to have a mini bullish era, we need to see a lot of higher highs and higher lows come into play. And that's exactly what will confirm what we're about to see. So 1-4 is holding up pretty nicely. To expand that, it's holding up pretty nicely on the 4 hour. So this is exactly how I'll be looking at my chart. 1-4 is holding up nicely. I want to see price test 1-5 for Ethereum, and from there we'll progress, right? So look out for these levels, look out for longs into these levels. So that's for Ethereum and BTC. Let's look at BNB. BNB pretty much also looks like ETH. See? So I think that's your support floor on the monthly. You have to be able to mark out these things, or you'll always depend on somebody. You have to. So it looks to me this is where we have real resistance, right? So for BNB, these are just the levels. You could even extend this right up. These are the levels for BNB. For me, if you ask me, and price is just testing this level. If BNB breaks below this zone, then we might be going to like $80. So if you scale down to the weekly, it's very interesting. So what do I think? This is actually the most perfect I've seen. You see, so I expect BNB to make a move straight back into $350 to maybe $400 region, and an extension likely into that $500 zone. It's a very scary trade to take because it just looks like price is going to sweep this level. But these are the trades that reward you the most. Imagine picking a trade from 2.7 into 500 on BNB. So these are the trades that reward you the most. And I think it's beginning to come into play, right? I should even purchase some BNB and some Ethereum. These are projects that you want to hold for the long term, because these are very serious projects that have come to stay. So I'm anticipating that move. It's not a move that will happen next week, right? These are swing moves that could take weeks, right? Or even months. We're looking at a massive move into April, right? Into April. So you also want to put all your, all cards on the table and take all these trades. If you scale to the 4 hour for BNB, I believe you would also begin to see things from a much clearer perspective. So on the 4 hour, we have our support floor, because price is always constantly forming. So we've had price push up, come back. You can see price has retested that level, and it looks like price is consolidating. So you want to monitor this level. I wouldn't want to, jump into any trade in the weekend. I'd like to monitor these levels and see how price opens on Monday. Monday would be very perfect to start executing. Of course, the crypto market never sleeps, so you're always free to take as many trades as you want. So what is price going to do immediately? We expect a recovery. We've seen a massive drop last week. So there's going to be a recovery for BNB, and I'm looking at this zone right here. So we'd like to see BNB recover into this area, right? So 285, that 280 region would be the first area for BNB to recover into. Then of course we'll also look at areas like this. So BNB, you want to look out for these areas in the coming week. $300 zone. Then the big picture is right here, that 400 zone. So we're waiting for, we'd like to see a clean break of all these areas to help us trade in the coming week. The 15 minutes and the 1 hour will also show you how price is building up on this zone. So you can see on the lower time frames that we already beginning to see price, settle on this zone. You can see price came up, came down, broke the level, has now closed above it, went back up, tested the level, tested again. So we're beginning to see price consolidate on that 270. So the more we stay on this level, price is going to try to make moves upwards. So that's why it's important for you to observe. Allow the market to come to you. Don't just try to pick trades, jump in. So let the market settle, and once it settles, it will begin to take some of these targets higher. So that's it for BNB, and I really think you should keep an eye on it, right? We covered some coins last week. Let me look at Ape. Let's see what Ape is doing. These are coins that perform very poorly. They're not really lining up. So it's still in the same range. Most of the coins, they all look the same. So it looks the same, like it looks the same to me, like ETH. So you want to wait for it to you don't want to jump into this kind of coins at this level, because they tend to be more volatile and price can just sweep this level and continue upward. So you want to be very careful on these smaller coins. I'd just advise that you stick with BTC and ETH this week because of the level prices are. It would be very risky trying to trade these other lower coins, right? So look out for your trades. Monitor the daily time frame. Monitor the daily time frame very closely, and you should be able to understand what price is doing. I like how BTC is looking here. It looks like we want to make a move higher. Also Ethereum as well. So these are very solid projects, and they're already leading the way in the recovery. So same with BNB. Already leading the way. So these three coins is what I'll be looking at this week: BTC, ETH, and BNB. So of course, if you want to trade other coins, feel free. It's your choice, but just be very careful, just in case we have volatility into the in the coming week. All right. So let me know what you think. If the video is helpful, do well to like, do well to subscribe, and share the video to as many people as possible. So any questions that you have, drop it on the group, and I wish everyone a successful trading week. So bring in the profits, bring in the bag, and I'll see you next week. Take care and bye-bye.